In this video, I would like to discuss the impact of culture on emergency management. As the January 2019 report for the Emergency Management Higher Education Community states, that it is impossible to overstate the variety of ways that culture can affect how we prepare for and respond to disasters. It is important to discuss what culture is in order to notice its effects. Culture can be defined as that complex whole which includes knowledge, beliefs, arts, morals, law, customs, and any other capabilities and habits acquired by a human as a member of society. There is a holistic aspect to culture because many different aspects of life become interconnected through culture. An important aspect to consider when addressing culture is cultural conditioning. Cultural conditioning is one of the most important points to consider about culture. Individuals often have their own way of doing and seeing and believing, which becomes second nature and feel natural. This becomes the standard for what we, as individuals, assume is normal. These cultural differences can also be seen in a more physical aspect. How our homes are designed and built, how individuals perceive danger and risk, and if or why we choose to evacuate in the case of an emergency. This becomes a special hazard for those who communicate to different cultural groups because they cannot be sure the message was received as clearly as it had intended to be. This has been a major issue in past preparedness preparation and is something that can be looked at to improve in the future. So how does culture matter in a disaster? Why? An important excerpt from the January 2019 report for the Emergency Management Higher Education Community gave an example. They said, a monkey and a fish were caught in a terrible flood and were being swept downstream amidst torrents of water and debris. The monkey spied a branch from an overhanging tree and pulled himself to safety from the swirling water. Then, wanting to help his friend, the fish, he reached into the water and pulled the fish from the water onto the branch. The moral of the story is clear. Good intentions are not enough. If you wish to help the fish, you must understand its nature. This lesson teaches us the importance of understanding different cultures we may not understand or be a part of in order to help those impacted by different emergencies. Culture plays a huge role in the communication and decisions made by those affected. As we continue into the future, the role culture plays on emergency management will be increasingly prevalent. It will be critical for those in positions of power to communicate efficiently and effectively to those who unknowingly experience cultural conditioning. Effectively communicating to everyone involved has proved to be valuable for FEMA, and discovering ways to communicate to all parties will lead to a more successful preparedness in the case of disaster or emergency. The most important step that FEMA is taking to create a culture of preparedness in all communities is creating a culture of preparedness in our collective American culture. Every individual in America should share the same values towards emergency preparedness. An important way to do this is to inform the public and help them recognize all of the benefits of preparedness. By doing this, they hope to create that American culture of preparedness and therefore help everybody be more prepared, ready, and able to avoid disaster and harm.